Hi guys, how you doing? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Fractal Design Define C and the Fractal Design 7 Compact. Let's take a look. Just to give you a little bit of background, I decided I was going to build a streaming game capture machine. Now, I picked up a really good deal from a local seller, but the case that it came in was a bit pox, to be honest. So I had a little look around and there was nothing that I really saw that caught my imagination. It had to be compact, it had to be like half decent looking, and that's when I came across the Define 7 Compact. It caught my eye. It's a very good looking case. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to buy that. I'm going to put my main system in it, and I'm going to put my streaming PC into my old case. And that's what I've done here. So what this video for really is just to kind of, so you can see the cases side by side, see the differences. I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like. But also, before I move the system over to my new case, I took temperatures, which I'll share with you later on. So you can see that if the changes that they've made cosmetically has affected the airflow at all. Okay, so if you look at the cases side by side, you'll see that they are very similar looking. We've got the PSU shroud here. It's very much the same. There is a slight height difference here, but I think that's basically down to the feet. The actual shell of the case is about the same, to be perfectly honest. So we've got Fractal have brought a new logo, which just says Fractal, and then Fractal Design for the Define C. I like both, to be honest. They're quite nice classic looks. One thing I do like is here on the Define C, if you wanted to put a 360 radiator or even 120 fans, then there's a little panel here which you pop off, and then you can see the top of the hard drive cage. But the better thing about the 7 Compact is that now it's in two sections, so you don't have to take the whole thing off. You can just take a probably 2-3 inch portion of it out, and that's definitely a better look for me. So what you will notice about the front of the case is that they're slightly different. The gaps on the fins are wider on the 7 Compact. Here it's free for air to flow in, and there's a mesh filter which runs the length of the case. On this one there isn't the front mesh filter, but there is individual filters along here. Whether that's good or bad we'll see later on, but it is definitely a change which they've made. Right, here's a little look at the front of the cases. Please excuse the handprints, it does mark up quite easily, but different material has been used. This is an aluminium shell, whereas this is plastic. I'll do pictures again of the top of the case, but the I/O is pretty much the same. There are some more USB ports here, and there's a Type-C, which is definitely a welcome addition. I'm going to quickly pop the fronts off. So these are the filters that run the length. Okay, and as I said before, here's the filter which runs the length of the Define C. You can put 3 120s in there. I've just got 2 140s. But yeah, so it's very similar. There is a little indent here, so it does pop out a little bit. I'd say that's about 1/2 centimetre. And with the side being vented and then this notch, I think it's going to restrict airflow, to be honest. Why they made that decision, I don't know, but it is what it is. So let's put this all back together. Right, if we have a look at the rear of the cases, it's what you'd expect really with the back of a case, to be honest. There are differences. Captive thumb screws on the Define C, solid piece there, and the same goes for this. I mean, other than it's a latch, it's a solid piece of engineering. So on the Define C, you'd get 3 slots there for SSDs. You've got the 2 slots here for your hard drives. Over here you have 2 slots for SSDs and 2 for hard drives. Now, the biggest criticism of this case is the hard drive over here. It sticks out to the edge of the case, whereas it's recessed on this one. Gets in the way of cables. As you can see here, I can't route it like I normally would here, and it would be nice and flush. And then because it hasn't got captive thumb screws, the pressure that builds up here forces it to pop off. The cable management isn't fantastic here, by all means, but it's probably typical of what you'd expect to see. So let me just put the side panels back on. And to be honest, I do like the captive thumb screws, because you know it's on there and you're not going to have any dramas. Okay, so this goes on. There's a little point where it pivots, and then you push it on. But if I just apply a little bit of force there, and it pops off. I don't know why they did that, but that's a criticism, to be honest. It's not great. And now we'll have a look at the rear of the case. Very similar. We've got a honeycomb, I suppose, design, you'd say there, and then it's a crisscross diagonal affair on the compact. Both of them look nice. And then what I'll do is I'll show you pictures of the top of the 2 cases. I'm not going to kind of get the camera around, but what I really like about the Fractal Design 7 compact is that it ships with a solid roof, or in the box, and it makes it more of a premium purchase, to be honest. You'll get these 2 items. You got your air filter, and then you get your top cover, and they come on and they go on and off really easily, and it's just a nice addition in the box. Whereas the Define, really nice addition, whereas the Define C just has a plastic top, and it's not very nice, to be honest. So it's definitely welcome. So yeah, so let's just turn the cases around again. As I said previously in the video, this build was inside the Define C. I did some temperature readings, did the swap, reran those in exactly the same way, and the results are displayed on screen. Now, I'm really surprised, to be honest, because I thought there's slightly more room in here for airflow, so the result's going to be basically exactly the same, if not slightly better. Now, when they were worse, I thought, why is that? And that's when I took a closer look at the case, and I noticed, obviously, down here is the problem. So they've got a filter on the side there, and I've also got that little indent which I showed you earlier on. Now, the air is struggling to get through there. It's not terrible, but it's not as free flowing as this. You know, so for instance, I really like the gaps, but I would have preferred the air filter going down. You can probably take these strips out, to be honest, if you really wanted to, but then obviously you have more dust in your system. But it's not horrendous. It's not horrendous. Right, guys, so what I like about the Define 7, I love the design. The materials they've used are of a higher quality than the Define C. I love the cutout here. That definitely helps. I love the top of the case, that you get to a proper hard solid panel, whereas here you just get a plastic thing. What I don't like is the hard drive caddy, because it pokes out, and I also don't like the latch on the back which secures that back panel. The front of the case is quite nice, that the latch works because there's no pressure on the glass, and it works really well. Anyway, guys, I hope the video has been helpful, at least. Can I recommend this? I think I can, but bear in mind that the thermals will be slightly higher. Guys, as always, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.